Welcome, everyone. My name is, of course, Regis Philbin, and this is Make Your Day Richer. Thanks for being here. My guest today has become a vibrant voice in global storytelling. Peter Arpesella is the award-winning author of Good Like This, a novel born from a screenplay celebrated at international festivals. As a screenwriter and visual storyteller, Peter's work explores human complexity through drama, comedy, and profound introspection. Whether crafting soulful narratives on stage or penning short stories for literary journals, Peter's artistry resonates far beyond the screen. And he just happens to be married to my best friend, Annie Wood. And who was on here a few months ago. I love her. I've loved her since I was a child, and we're now best friends. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this clip from when she was on the show. I've had goosebumps and maybe a little diarrhea over how excited I am to meet you.
I'm sorry about the second part, but the first part is not gross.
So if this sounds like a good episode to you, click that like button, click that share button, and let's start the show.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Peter, thank you so much for being here.
Well, it's a pleasure, and it's great to see you and meet you. I enjoyed. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Well, tell me how much you enjoyed my interview with your wife. Yeah, tell me.
That's what I was about to say. I actually loved it because it's always wonderful to see genuine interest from the host to the to whatever it is that they are talking about, and your guest was very much full of your interest, and so it was very, very interesting. Actually, I thought it was one of the best interviews of Annie that I have experienced. Yes. And she's been on the Tonight Show and with Bill Maher.
Take that, Jay Leno.
Good thing.
Yeah, we're in good company. Well, I didn't know when she reached out and said, hey, I know a guy who might want to come on your show. I didn't know if I would have already scared you off now that there's competition for your wife. And we're best friends. I just didn't know how you would feel about coming on here and hanging out with me.
Oh,
so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I trust Annie, so I trust her choices.
Well, she had good things to say about you on the show. I'm going to show a little clip of her on the show so we can all admire the one and only Annie Wood. Thank you. What do you love most about your life right now? That's the final question, and then I'm going to let you go.
What I love most about my life is that I create every single day, and I get to spend it with a beautiful man that I'm crazy in love with, and this is part of and beautiful men like you reach out to me, beautiful people like you reach out to me and say, hey, I want to talk to you. That's a beautiful thing too, and I appreciate that.
I mean, we're not going to spend the entire time talking about Annie, but
we'd be very happy if we did.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, what I love about you is how creative and artistic, and you have your hands in so many things as well. And I think that keeps people so grounded and kind of connected to real life. Have you always been artistic and creative and performance based?
No. I have lived the first part of my life as a projection of my family. So I tried to make everybody happy. And in doing so, I kind of lost sight of myself. I certainly had artistic and creative feelings and desires and itches. And they did go in some channels, but then there was a lot of trauma that kind of stopped everything. So, um, to make a very long story short, I became an investment banker, and then I went to therapy. And then my therapist asked me if I was happy. I said no. I said,
Mm.
well, what do you like? I said to tell jokes and to sail. And she was quiet. And I said, well, I can't be a professional sailor. And she said, okay. And then I said, what do you want me to be an actor? And she said, I don't, I'm not wanting you to be anything. And so I left that life and became an actor. And from
Wow.
then on out, I found myself. I became my best friend, and my life changed in so many ways.
Well, and you so casually mentioned that you just became an actor. You have been in some major films. And I want to talk a little bit about kind of that process leading up to that, when you kind of are just in your therapist's office one day, be like, I guess I should be an actor. You know, you don't turn around and I talked to a lot of people on this show about different things that they've done. How did you, what were your building blocks into acting?
I followed my feelings, I think, because I had zero plan. And most of all, I had zero idea. I
Mm.
only knew that this felt very, very good. And up until then, I knew what felt really, really bad. And not that I was never happy. Obviously, I was happy and so on and so forth. But this was a different thing. You know, this was
Mm.
like a cellular feeling that felt like me and felt like home and felt like, ooh, I want more of this.
Mm.
And so I think that when we are like that, we become like magnets. And if we are just even barely awake, you know, we start seeing things, and things start to come to us. So somebody mentioned an acting school. I signed up and I went. And the moment I stepped into that room, I literally felt home. Uh,
Mm.
and and then, you know, one thing led to the next and to the next, and the process was always the same. At some point, even within my vocation, um, something wouldn't feel right. So then I tuned myself toward what I wanted, or toward what could have felt better, and then I went in that direction, and so on and so forth. I never maybe now I have some sort of a plan, but I never had a plan in my life. I just followed my bliss, my guts.
Yeah.
Felt good.
Did you have any of those feelings prior, and just not listen to them, or was that sort of new for you to have those feelings about something you were doing?
It was new. It was new.
Mm.
I had, you know, I wasn't completely alienated from myself. Okay, in my previous life, and so I knew when things felt good. Um, but it was within a cocoon of, or an external reality that didn't belong to me and I to it. Um, so yeah,
I love that.
I
I
answered the
love that.
question.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, yes. When did you get into visual arts? Is that something your wife got you into? Um, because you're also an amazing visual artist.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You know, I became an actor. Then, when I wasn't working it enough to my liking, being a creative person, I started writing.
Mhm.
And so I became a writer as well. I won some awards. I wrote my one-man show back in New York. It had a very successful run. I was picked up by a producer that took me on tour, and then when the acting and the writing left some empty spaces, I thought, well, what's another way of telling stories? And I was gravitating around people that were painting, so I thought, well, let me try, and I had a blast. I had just bought the house where we live now, and it was empty, so I had so much room to play. And I just put on the canvas what I felt in my imagination, and there is something magnificent in painting, in visual arts, that
Mhm.
the transfer from the imagination to what we then see, and now we see something that didn't exist a second ago, is
Yeah.
so fast and fluid, that is truly spectacular.
I
Writing
talk
is,
about. Oh
yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
go ahead,
Go.
go
No. No.
ahead.
No. Go.
Writing is
Uh.
similar, but there is more. I don't know, at least for me, sometimes it's just downloads, 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 but other times it's more, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I talk about painting because I paint, but all of my stuff gets hung on the walls of a garbage can.
Oh,
And that's kind of how I like it, though. I love watching the paint going across the canvas, the shininess of the paint. Like, there really is something I mean, I used to work for an arts and health nonprofit, and the health benefits of painting, just to paint, to get expression out there, to get feelings, all of that stuff.
yes,
Did
yes.
you did how much of your stuff when you started did you throw away, or were you always just really good?
No, I didn't, I I didn't throw away anything, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, and everything that you see on my site is for you know to be purchased and for sale,
Mhm.
because I like any uh, I am a storyteller, so I need to tell the stories. So if the story is on canvas, I need somebody to receive it, and so I love it if my art lives on somebody else's walls.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. When I was a kid playing talk show host in my bedroom as a 10-year-old, my mom gave me all the extra paint from our house, all the rooms that we've painted, and she just let me paint my room. And I basically painted it like this. And I just took a paintbrush with all the different colors and painted all types of designs in my entire room. And it was like so freeing, and it felt like home in my own room, like my own little
Exactly.
world.
And
Yeah.
isn't that a beautiful feeling? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another
When
thing that,
people
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, when people come in here to film and do interviews here, like, they walk in and they're like, "Oh my God, this is like we're transforming into an entire different world of just like pure joy." And that's what I think art should do.
Absolutely. And I love the title of of your show.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all, people like you who are just making the world a better place, whether you know it or not, or you do know it, and other people should know it as well, because it ends up being a lot of creative art based people, because that's what makes the world, I think. Anyway, that's my
That's
TED talk.
that's wonderful. And I just want to say that I think um we all, regardless of what we do specifically, we all create. We all are
Yeah.
creators. We are a creation, and we come here to create. Even if we don't think we are, we are. Uh,
Hmm.
and so I think it's wonderful that we all, you know, the human collective is the willing and unwilling creator of everything that we experience, and it's wonderful that we all do what we do differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's space for everybody. That's what I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
Speaking of storytelling, you have a really good book called Good Like This, a novel. Tell everybody about that book.
Thank you. Well, so it's the story of a rich and powerful New York City family. The husband is a successful banker. The wife is a successful artist. They have a wonderful, talented 7-year-old daughter. And it's the family that is the American dream, that makes the cover of magazines. But behind closed doors, their secrets are destroying their lives. And so they have to face their reality and find a way to cope with their own truths.
Mm.
The story comes as a combination of inspirations. Literally, the trigger was I was watching the New York City Marathon, and I was living in New York then. And I am watching the last mile of the pro group approaching the finish line, and I am seeing these human beings alone in their bodies, with just their bodies and their single-minded focus on wanting to do this thing, to win, to reach the finish line. And all they have is their body, shoes, and some clothes, but really that's pretty much what they have. And I started crying from, I don't know, some place inside of me. And I said, I have to find a way to write a story about this. And that was that moment. But it was so intense that I turned off the TV and I thought, maybe I am feeling something else and I am crying because of this. So let me turn it off and turn it back on and see if it happens again. And boom, just the same thing. So I said, okay, I'm going to write something about this. Then time passed and other things came into focus. And the New York City Marathon is the backdrop on which it's the catalyst for the story to find its resolution. And the rest, the lead character, Paul, is a person who has type 1 diabetes, and who is neglecting it, who is in denial, and therefore is about to lose his life and the control of everything that he loves. And the wife is an addict. And in my family, in my history, my dad was the addict, and I am the person with type 1 diabetes. And I always felt bored about how diabetes is portrayed in fiction. And there isn't a good story with diabetes in fiction. It's always a character defect or something that it becomes a plot point, but is never the catalyst, like other conditions or health conditions are, where you learn from them and you are better from the experience that you had than if you hadn't had the experience. Also, diabetes is a marathon, and so it's not by coincidence that is connected to the New York City Marathon. And therefore, it tends to be not as sexy, because it's not a sprint. It's not something that you get and you either live or die and then off you go. It's a lifelong thing. But my life has been anything but boring. So I thought there's got to be a way to make diabetes fun, entertaining, interesting, scary, maybe even sexy, and have it as the catalyst and the core of the story, the leading factor of the story, where not only the character that has the diabetes, but also everybody around him can benefit. Because I always felt I have something that others don't have. It's not that I have a disease or a condition, or I am broken. I have something that you don't have. Therefore, I feel things that you don't feel.
Mm.
And this, when I started thinking like this, I thought, oh, maybe I have something more, not something less.
Wow.
And so all of this I put into this story that is fast paced. It's a family story in the end.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And
The title is good like this. Can you tell me like where the title came from? Like why did you settle on that title, and if there were any other titles you were thinking of? I'm always curious about that.
that is such a beautiful question. The story originally took the form of a screenplay that was called Run With Me, and it won an award. Then the script got some interest but never was picked up, and so I thought, I think this story needs to be out there. So I wrote the book version, the novel version of the story, which was great because now, if it were to become a movie, or when it becomes a movie, the book is the story, not the original screenplay. And then I wasn't sure how to name it. I gave it to Annie to read, and there is a moment at the end before Paul, the character in the story, starts the New York City Marathon, where he's interviewed, and he says, no matter what you have, things can be good, because it's not what we have that makes us happy or miserable. It's how we deal with them. And so it can be good. It can be good like this. And so she said, I like that. Maybe that's the title.
And leave it to Annie to know exactly how to make something good.
And
of course,
like we're closing the circle.
Of course. What do you love most about your life right now?
Well, Annie.
Of course. Yes. And when Annie comes back, I'll play this clip, and we'll just keep this circle going. Yes.
And that is happening. That's what I love the most. That is happening, and I think it's just wonderful. And then if we want to go into details, it's I love where I live. I love Los Angeles. This is the other moment in my life. There are 3 moments in my life where I felt home. When I stepped into the first acting school, when I saw the ocean the first time I arrived here in Los Angeles, and when I met Annie.
Wow.
So yeah,
I love that.
That I am here now is what I love right now.
I love that. How can people best connect with you and see what you're up to and follow you?
PeterArpesella.com. And there, you can find my blog, my art. That's and then obviously the socials. But I am I don't know. I'm easing out of the socials activity. Yeah.
Yes. My phone is broken, and I haven't had a phone in a week, and it's been the best week of my entire life. I'm getting so much stuff done. I'm going back to the phone on the wall.
Yeah.
And an answering machine. That's what I'm going back to. I don't know why we stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You're a super creative person, so I'm sure you're always doing, but what are you working on next that maybe you could come back and chat about later when it comes out?
There is something that is supposed to come out later this year, and I'm not at liberty to say anything other than maybe it has to do with dinosaurs, and that is something that it was a lot of fun to work on. And I have a movie that I have that we shot last year that is in post, or has been in post for a while, but I cannot wait for that to be completed, and that will also be something fun. So when that comes out, be fun.
Good. Well, I hope that you come back and talk about all of that. You have an open invitation here on the show. Come back
Wonderful.
anytime you want. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations with your show and all that you do.
Thank you. Listen, Annie was here and now you're here, so the show can end, and I don't think I would care. But we'll take a break and we'll be right back after this. Don't go away. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. Welcome back, everyone. There's a new episode of Introspection from Grief to Growth, which is a podcast that I help edit and produce. Comes out every other week. This is one of those weeks. You can find more information at introspection.com, introspection with 2 N's, I-N-N, introspection.com. Take a look at this clip.
And some people will go, to the very end denying that they're going to die, and nothing you can say or nothing you can ask or be curious about will, change that for them. And it can be really painful to see people like that. But ultimately, that's the choice of how they go.
I'm shaking my head because that's the way my husband was. That I called the ambulance because he was in a lot of pain. And while we were waiting, I said to him, "It's okay. You can let go. We're going to miss you terribly. We love you, but we'll get through this, and it's okay." And he looked at me, and I swear if he'd had a gun, I felt like he was taking the gun and cocking the whatever it is. And he's like, "I'm not ready to die." He was gone in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
And if you'd like help with your podcast, send me an email at makeyourdayricher@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up. Have a great day, everyone. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. And we'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye.